most traumatizing thing that's ever happened to you? When I was 12, my teacher, Mr. Donnelly, announced we were going on this amazing overnight field trip to learn survival skills. The permission slips looked totally legit, and my parents signed it without thinking twice. I was actually excited because our school was always doing these hands-on learning things. The bus showed up right on time, and about 20 of us piled in. Mr. Donnelly seemed normal that morning, cracking jokes and telling us about all the cool stuff we'd learn. The drive was maybe 3 hours into the middle of nowhere. I remember looking out the window thinking the woods looked pretty, but also kind of creepy. When we got there, something felt off immediately. The place looked more like a military base than a camp. There were these tall fences everywhere, and the staff looked like they could snap us in half. No friendly camp counselors with clipboards and warm smiles. These guys had buzz cuts and dead eyes. They took our phones right away, saying it was part of the digital detox experience. Then they told us the rules. No complaining, no crying, follow every order immediately, or we'd get sent home. Except here's the thing, nobody ever actually got sent home. We got woken up at 5 in the morning every day. Not gently either. They'd bang pots and pans and scream at us to get outside in 30 seconds. Then we had to run laps around this huge field, barefoot, even when it was freezing cold. If you stumbled or slowed down, they'd make the whole group start over. The punishments were insane. One kid named Jamie missed a single leaf during cleanup, and they made him scrub the bathroom floors with a toothbrush for 2 hours. Another girl asked when we were going home, and they made her stand outside all night without a blanket. But the worst part was the tasers. These weren't regular camp counselors. They had actual tasers hanging from their belts, and they weren't afraid to use them. I saw them shock this kid Alex just for asking for more water during lunch. He dropped to the ground screaming, and they just stood there watching. On the third night, I couldn't sleep because my stomach was killing me from the gross food they gave us. I snuck out to use the bathroom and heard 2 of the counselors talking by the fence. One of them said, 3 more days till pickup. Keep them scared so they don't try anything stupid. That's when I knew we weren't going home when we were supposed to. This wasn't a real school trip. We were stuck here and nobody was coming for us. I started paying attention to everything. How many exits there were, where the weak spots in the fence might be, when the guards changed shifts. There was this shed near the main cabin that they always kept locked, but one morning, I saw them leave it open while they were dealing with some kid who had tried to run away. I waited until they were all distracted during dinner, then snuck over to the shed. Inside were filing cabinets full of documents, pages and pages about behavioral modification tactics and youth correction methods. There were photos of kids who looked absolutely terrified, some with bruises, lists of names, dates, even payment records. I grabbed as many papers as I could stuff in my jacket and ran back. That night, I whispered everything to Jamie, who was in the bunk next to mine. He was the only one I trusted not to freak out or rat me out. We made a plan to escape the next night. It took us 2 more days to actually do it. We waited until the guards were doing their midnight rounds, then crawled under the fence where we'd noticed some loose wire. We ran through the woods for what felt like hours, following this dirt road we'd spotted during our forced morning runs. Finally, we found this park ranger station about 5 miles